That's fine. Just to give you a quick overview, this is my map. I had a lot of fun cramming as much into a small area as humanly possible, and I'm super happy with what I ended up with. So I do have 4 villagers. I've got me, Beachleaf Inn, Bell Bazaar, and the dig site. And then I picked up just kind of a random assortment of villagers, honestly, based on things I thought were cute, which is why most of them are normals. But I wanted to go with very much a kind of a vacation town, but one where the locals were just as proud of everything as the actual, as making it as profitable as possible. So a lot of the island is just kind of designed to have nice places to sit and smell the flowers or hang out with the locals and, see what's going on. So we enter with a nice bike rental in case you want to scoot around a little faster. And up here I have the Able Sisters. And like many places, there's just a cool little spot to chill, check out the latest fashions. Going down here, we go up the steps right into the main thoroughfare. And this has more prominently the Beachleaf Inn and also Nook. And we start with Beachleaf Inn. I did have an absolute crazy time decorating all of the interiors, so I knew I wanted an inn because I didn't want to fill my own house with a lot of rooms that didn't necessarily resonate with me, but I also really wanted to do some more kind of hotel-themed spaces. So I made the Beachleaf Inn, which let me make a nice little reception area, as well as all of the other rooms. So if we go this way first, I absolutely had to break the trend as a lefty and put my bathroom on the left instead of the right, because I don't want to be like everyone else. So I ended up with a little sauna spot, and I had to put a toilet in and everything too, because I feel like that's half the fun, really, is trying to pretend that you have any kind of privacy in these places, even though you absolutely do not. And going back out, if we go up, the music in this game is so weird. Up here, we've got the game room. So just a nice sort of neutral space for people to hang out and play games and apparently do money deals for $1 million. This was pretty much the first and only incredibly expensive thing that I bought myself, and I regret absolutely nothing because now I have a suitcase full of gold bars, and for some reason that's just very satisfying. And if we head over to the right, I've got one of my favorite rooms, actually, because I feel like it was a pretty creative use of space. And I tried to do things just funky, because I had so many houses to play with. It was fun to do things that were kind of a waste of space, but in the most fun way possible. So I'd made myself a pool. It's got a rubber ducky. So, I mean, he's very realistic for rubber ducky, but, sometimes it's like that. And, just a nice little swimming pool area for you to chill out in while you're here. And I'll head upstairs next, and I think the upstairs here is probably one of the first times that this is one of the first rooms I created, and also one of the first times that I was like, ooh, I bet I could do this just different from how I've seen everybody else do it. So I made myself a 2-bedroom guest suite, I guess, and I wanted to see if I could basically make it seem like there were multiple distinct spaces in a single room. So yeah, this was one of the first ones where I was like, what if I did something weird? And it paid off. And I ended up echoing this kind of multiple spaces in one room idea in a lot of the other houses too, just because it was, I don't know, fun. It was something different. I didn't see a lot of people doing it online. And this room, I hated this room. This room took forever to design. I knew I wanted some kind of eating experience, and the really annoying thing is that Harv's Island doesn't have the right room sizes, which makes designing these outside of your actual house really annoying. I will also say I do have the Ironwood kitchen set, and it is only because I got the stupid dresser DIY about 5, maybe 6 days ago, and finally swapped out those. I had placeholder pieces of furniture in there. It took so long to get that stupid dresser DIY, but I got it, and that's what matters. So that's the Beachleaf Inn, and if we go back outside, we're gonna head this way along the path first. So again, I went with a very like nature heavy theme. I wanted something that felt very outdoorsy, very welcoming, and also, I'm gonna take that stick, also very like springy, summery. Part of the reason I'm making this tour is because I kind of just want to do something very different for a winter theme, and so it felt like it was a good time to make a final tour of it, wipe my island, and start over. So over here we have Pashmina, and the inside of her house is a very bright red diner, but it is a diner, so I wanted to kind of continue the theme, and she is the owner of my little bakery. And it's got some nice beachside seating, little, seating area, lots of cakes, very nice. And then heading up here, we do have a little lounge area if you want to chill. And up here is my little market. So if you had come up from here instead, you end up in the marketplace. This, by the way, is another very late DIY. I finally got the bonsai shelf. But yeah, we're going to go into the Belle Bazaar next. And I think this was the house I probably had the most fun decorating, because I got to do some really random, really fun things with it that I wouldn't have been able to do and still match the rest of my theme elsewhere. So it was a good chance to just be like, I want to make this thing that matches absolutely nothing, and I'm going to cram it in here. So you enter into sort of the little street fair that's out front, and then there's lots of little shops to go into. So over here, for example, this is loosely modeled on a game room that is near me. It's called Night Moves, and it's basically like a game cafe, like a board game cafe. And I wanted to do something kind of similar in Animal Crossing. So made a cute little cafe. I will say this is significantly cuter than the actual Night Moves, which kind of just looks like an old grandfather's study. And I don't say that's a bad thing, but it's a very different vibe. But had fun turning it into that. And if you go this way instead, we have a luxury clothier. So I basically pulled out all of the like fancy formal dresswear and worked it into a single store. So, lots of fancy hats and shoes and accessories and stuff. And again, just had fun kind of using rooms in really weird ways that weren't very practical to walk around in, but it didn't matter because I don't walk around in them very often, so who cares if they're hard to get around in. Going back here, a little bit of an Easter egg. I caught a lot of isopods and I wanted to do something with them, so I made a music video set. So the gnome is recording their music piece, and Turtle's a really great singer. You'd be surprised. They real raspy, so good for this kind of orchestra. But cracked myself up with that one a little too much. I just had fun. It was so much fun to design all these rooms and to make all these, weird layouts and follow all these random themes that didn't match each other at all. So like up here I have a hot pot place because why not, I guess? I don't know. It was fun to, again, just design with a theme that I wasn't using anywhere else, because I don't really use these kinds of dark colors anywhere else on the island. And it was nice to just be like, all right, what if I just made a restaurant? Why not? And then downstairs is a bit of a local joke, because I found out the other day that not everyone knows what I'm talking about, but I made an REI, which is basically, it's like a sporting goods store, essentially. And let me tell you that if you've been inside an REI, this is exactly what it looks like. Down to the fake rock climbing wall you can test your sneakers on, and the basketball hoops that you can try all their different ball sizes and weights and stuff. And yeah, as soon as I saw the pine wood walls, I was like, that's it. I have to make some kind of sporting goods store. It's too good. This matches too well. So also a great place to use a lot of the fishing jamboree stuff, just because it blended in really well. So yeah, that's Belle Bazaar. Lots of, marketplace places to eat and shop and everything. And going up north, the shopping district extends just a little bit further. This is Vesta, and the inside of her house is like a laundromat, so I kept that theme going, and I wanted sort of an outdoor marketplace. And I did just end up switching this over to fall clothing not that long ago because the summer clothing was looking a little weird as the grass changed colors. And then Sky over here. Oh, she's actually here. Yay. I love Sky. She's singing. She's always singing. Sky will sing at anything, for any reason, at any time, all the time. And I love her for that. So I almost got rid of her, and then I was like, I can't live here without Sky. That would just be sad. This is my backup flower garden. So I have one of more or less every flower that I've used thematically on the island. I did theme the flower colors across the entire island to sort of give it a good vibe, and I wanted to make sure I had at least one of everything. And I have my little frog buddy. He's just hanging out. And then back here is my shooting star spot because it's nice and open and easy to see. And other than mosquitoes, you don't get bothered by anybody back there. Over here is just kind of a shipping yard. I wanted something that had kind of a, you know, outdoor, like, barrels and boxes and crates kind of feel. So stuck that up in that corner. And if we head up here, this is Molly. So she's got a little picnic blanket and a pond with some ducks to hang out with. You can still hear Sky down there just screaming her little heart out. I did cave for the summer theme and make myself a diving spot, but it is a little overgrown now because we're out of season, so nobody's really using it. You go, Sky. Rock on. Hell yeah. She will just sing anywhere for any reason. If we jump across here, up the back, we have one of my favorite Easter eggs on the whole island, which is that as we're traveling down this lovely little path, if we tip up, we are just watching a saucer trying to duck things, but that's fine, don't worry about it. Out front here is a little overlook spot. Like I said, I wanted it to feel very relaxed and naturey and just this chill vibe. So up here we have Mabel and Melba. They're next door neighbors and also possibly girlfriends. And I literally don't remember whose house is whose. This is Melba. So Melba's got a little gardening spot so that she can do all of her little gardening and tinkering and everything. And then right next to her, we have the Potter. So the two of them can hang out together, and I'm sure that lots of clay pots get made to put flowers in, and it's very adorable. So down here at the bottom is my orchard, and it is just kind of on a cliff edge up in the back of my island. And I kept just a couple of each type of tree so that I had them. And then back here we have the wind farm. I wanted a very nature-focused, you know, undirected area, basically. So I made just this cute little wind farm walkthrough area. And I did, at great pains, over quite a lot of time, make myself a rock garden. And by rock garden, I mean I moved a couple of the rocks that I really hated and didn't like where they were located up to there, so I didn't have to bother with them anymore, which was one of the best decisions I ever made. Even if it did take like a month to get it right, because I kept misjudging where rocks would actually place. And because I do have 4 villagers on my island, I end up with an awful lot of trees, so this is my money tree area, so that I can keep them all in one place. But heading down the other side, actually, you know what? Let's go over here to my little honeybee spot. They're just so cute. I couldn't not have a couple of hives set up, and this little outcropping made a great spot for them. So come down the other side, we have a little painter's spot. And then over here on the right is my museum. So I wanted just kind of a, you know, I've seen a lot of museum outdoors, and I swear they kind of all look like this, which is just a random jumble of things put together to kind of vaguely make one cohesive concept. And honestly, I think I nailed it. So just for reference, we've kind of covered a good chunk of the right side of the island at this point, and we're heading into the top of the left. So over here we have Amelia, and she is my park ranger. So this is my campsite spot. Actually, I'm going to go on this one. And so she's got our little like ranger station, and then if we go around the bottom of the bees, this is the actual campsite. So obviously all the campers end up there. And as you can see, because I'm really big again on the flower thing, where the rest of the island is a strong red, black, and orange theme, I actually went yellow for the bees, and then the campground has like more of a blue, purple, green, cool tones. I just thought it set it apart from the rest of the island, and it does let me get out to red when I need to. So heading back this way, we're actually going to cut into the dig site. So this is the research and digging area. And if we head right over here, we have Dig Site's tent. And yes, I did basically add a tent solely so that I could have one single room because it really fit my theme and I regret nothing. So Dig Site's got a little research spot where she can take notes and examine specimens and also, nap occasionally. And like I said, I don't know, it felt really cute thematically to add this into everything else. I was super happy with it. And as we go back out, so again, it's just kind of a overrun, very, very out in the weeds, literally, area, tucked back in here. And if we head, if we head down this way, you'll see we're moving into pink and gold flower territory, because this is for my favorite villager. She's got a lovely outdoor, just little, sleeping pad, chill spot kind of thing. But if we duck in here, we will enter Flora's dance party. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's a flamingo dance party. So they got David on display hanging out with us, and you can get drinks at the bar and do a flamingo mingle because the puns were just too good. And heading up to her rooftop, she's got a nice lounge area and a little flamingo party. So you two can sit down to the, I guess it's a lunch party at this time of day. And have cake, hang out. Just hope you're wearing pink, otherwise they'll probably peck you off the roof. But yeah, Flora, I absolutely adore Flora. I'm not a huge fan normally of that personality type, but she stole my heart, and I'm not giving it back. So down here we've got my little fishing pier, so you can hang out. And over here, this area is dedicated to my girlfriend's father, who is absolutely a Californian surfer dude at heart and would 100% end up sitting out in an area like this with his guitar and just chilling some night around a campfire. So this is for Lee. But this is actually part of my outdoor gym. So I have Billy, who's one of my two first villagers, and also Antonio, who I love, and they are gym buddies, and so they've started a gym together, so you also can get buff. And out here we got a goalie keeping track of the net, and you can also shoot some hoops if you want. Oh, there's Amelia. She's a little outside of her zone right now, but that's alright. Enjoying the butterflies. Up here we've got more bike rentals, so just to orient you, you'll see the museum coming up on our right. So this is basically just the main thoroughfare down this side of the island. So heading back down here, I just have a big nature area, because again, I didn't want to pack the entire place full of, stuff around every corner. Sometimes it's nice to just have a little spot to relax. So right up on this cliff, you can't really see it, but that's the Able Sisters again. If we go just a few feet this way, we're back at the start of the island. Hi, Antonio. He's taking a break after all his workouts. But down here we have a little, just kind of a picnic, chill out, high tea zone. I really wish the villagers would hang out here more. It's just super cute to see them sitting around this area. So hello. Oh, they're just so cute. If we head straight up the main thoroughfare down the center, I had my museum up here once upon a time, but I ended up moving it, and this turned into kind of more of a, a old ruins kind of zone. I wanted something that really got to embrace all of the bamboo styling and furniture and everything, and ended up with this sort of kind of ancient worship spot, I guess. I don't know. I really like how it ended up turning out. So, and if you go right up here, you're right back up to Maple and Melba and the kidnapping UFO. So, and if I head down this bridge instead, you end up back in town center, which is pretty convenient. Oh, a balloon. The only place left on my island, if we head down, actually, you know what? I'll take this path. Is my house. And so I tucked myself away in this tiny corner because I really wanted a spot that was just for me and felt very isolated. So I've given myself a very large garden zone because, as you've probably seen by the entire island, I am a huge fan of the outdoors and all of the nature theming. So I have a nice green garden zone. I gave myself a little stone, pond and relaxation spa area. And a little fireplace to have, s'mores and stuff. And my gnome buddy's back there cooking, and I've got my dog. And if we head down to the beach, I have just kind of some chill spots. I liked having places where if I was just going to let my character idle for a while, I could just, plop myself somewhere nice and chill for an hour or whatever until I came back to the game. Because yes, I'm that kind of player. And just for reference, if we go up the beach here, you'll see we end up back in the little bakery. So, full circle. But the final spot in the house, or final spot in the tour, rather, is my house. And this was pretty much the last thing on the entire island that got completed, because it was really a struggle to kind of nail exactly what I wanted it to look like, but I ended up really happy with most of it. So this is my just kind of entry room. Ironically, despite this being the hardest thing in the entire island to create, this was probably pretty much the first room I ever decorated. It didn't look quite like this at the beginning because I didn't have all this nice furniture, but the wall and floor combination with kind of all of the green and plants was definitely my inspiration for literally everything else that happened anywhere on the island. So going into the back first, we'll go into my bedroom. And I set myself up with just a lovely little snuggly spot. The funny thing is, my Animal Crossing style is actually pretty dissimilar to my style in real life. I don't like this kind of cottage core style, but it's so cute in Animal Crossing. I love it so much. So I ended up using this style everywhere, even though in person I'm way more of a minimalist. Going over to the right, I have a den, sort of desk, study area, whatever you want to call it, library, which is where I can work on my writing or my art and, just chill. And again, I just like the rich wood tones combined with the lovely plants everywhere. I bought so many plants. So many plants. It was ridiculous. And then going into the far right, or far left, I know my directions. This was one of the last rooms I designed, and I freaking love it. I would never want to live in it, but tell me this isn't like your grandma's attic. I just, I love this style so much in Animal Crossing. It's so cute and cluttered and ridiculous. And just, and it's my coelacanth baby. I just got my third one, so I could turn them into a statue, but it was way cuter over there. Last two rooms, I would say the attic here is probably one of the rooms I'm the least satisfied with on the entire island, but I tried something new and inventive, and I'm proud of myself for trying, so I'm showing it off anyway. I was trying really hard to make like a full bedroom suite kind of studio apartment deal, and so trying to figure out how to put all of the doors and the walls and everything so that it really felt like you were in all of these different little rooms was a real challenge, but I kind of love how it came out. I think it's definitely a little too cluttered, but also, I don't know, it's different. I haven't really seen anyone try anything like this, so I'm proud of it, even if it's a little bit ugly. Also, I'm a beautiful pianist. Yeah, Luna's bed worked out, or no, whatever the Dream Lady's bed is, whatever she's called, worked out really well here. So, yeah. And then the final room in my house has absolutely nothing to do with the rest of my house whatsoever, but I built it for Beach Leaf, decided that it didn't work in Beach Leaf, and didn't want to get rid of it because it was too cool to ditch. I made a dino cafe. Like I said, it has absolutely nothing to do with any of the rest of my house, but tell me this isn't a cool ass room. Like, I've got a full stego skeleton in here. What's not to love? So yeah, I'm a big fan of this. This was fun and a fun use of furniture pieces to define a room, so I regret nothing. But that's pretty much the entire island. I think the only other things I want to document just for me, so that if I ever come back to these I can, really remember everything that I had set up, is the amount of times that I set a building down and then moved the building and then moved it again and ended up spending, I think we did the math, and it was like a little under 4 million bells worth of moving buildings repeatedly. It just, oh god, it's no wonder that I haven't actually paid off all of my houses yet, because I can't, because I didn't make enough money. I also got everything myself, with the exception of a couple of I paid a guy so that I could touch the simple panels, because I was so frustrated after like 350 hours I still only had the white one, And then I also got some items from my girlfriend and a couple of my other friends, like a handful of items. I probably got maybe like 20 things total from them. And then I did rock some sweet deals with this one person online who was willing to trade for fish bait, and it was the only way that I made money in this game. So other than that, everything that I did, I made or found or, built myself. And, the 825 hours, like, it took a while. It was definitely a slow process. But I love this island, and I love how much I made something that was really tailored for me. I made something that was easy for me to navigate, that had everything that I love to look at, and was really well suited to, the time of year and everything. So I'm going to miss it, but I'm also really excited to start kind of a, fall and winter-based adventure. Oh, I'm so sorry I'm going to have to shove you. I'm sorry. Sorry. Please let me out. Thank you. Yeah, and, it was a good run, and I love how my village came out and everything, and one last map, just for good measure. And also, I did do passports for everybody, and I think I'm adorable, but what else is new? And that's about it. So thanks for coming to Isle Mela, and I hope you enjoyed the tour. And I'm sure in, 6 months of agonized playing, I'll be back with another tour of my next island, whatever that looks like.